Hi there, I'm Heidi Swapp, and I am here to show you just a quick but kind of cool way to spice up really everyday items like just a regular notepad of paper. You know, if you go back through all of my shows, you'll find that occasionally I keep coming up with these ideas for regular notepads of paper. And if you ask my mom, it drives her nuts because I never just have little notepads of paper where you can jot down like what you need from the store, or write a note that you'll be right back, or take it down a number when you're on the phone or whatever. And so I do love notepads. I just lose them so quickly all the time. But I think that everybody could use a notepad. And so I wanted to show you something that would be kind of fun, just maybe a thoughtful teacher gift, or when you need to just grab something to give somebody to say, hey, you know what, you're special to me, or I was thinking about you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to teach you how to stencil on the sides of the notepads. And, you know, your imagination might start going like mine does. This would be really cute on the side of a book, or on the side of a note, you know, like a school notepad. It would be really fun, you know, if you're one of those that just had like lots of journals or that kind of thing. It's just a kind of fun way to spice up the side of a stack of papers. And if you see, you know, those really big, thick notepads that people like to give and dress up with big flowers and bows and stuff like that, this would be a really fun technique too. But mostly I just wanted to show you kind of how easy it is, and just give you some tips on being successful when you spray with the Color Shine mists and stencils on the side of, say, a book or a notepad. All right, so what I have here is a set, just a few notepads, and you can buy these just like at the office supply store. And I'm going to do several of them at the same time. You don't have to, but it makes it a little bit easier for the stencil. So I'm using one of my new, this is the 6x6 zigzag or chevron. I guess I should know what they're called, but I don't. It's a zigzag, come on, stencil. And this is probably one that I use over and over and over. I like that it's quite a compact design. And so it works great for lots of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my notepads, and this could also be notebooks or a book, or a journal or whatever, and I'm going to put it up here on its end and lay my stencil over the top. Now the thing that the very first thing you have to do is, when you decide what color spray you're going to use, you need to make sure that it's ready to spray. And by that I mean you need to make sure that when you do a test spray, you shake it up, and when you spray it, you want to make sure that it's spraying nice and full. So there's not like lots of splatters going around. Make sure that you don't have to clean out your spigot. The other thing that may happen is if this is really getting empty, it may not spray nice and robust. And this is kind of a side tip, but if your sprays are getting really low and it's time for you to go and buy another bottle of the same color that you really love, go and buy the new color, and don't throw away your bottle until your new color has some room in the bottle, and then dump it in. Your bottles spray better the more full that they are. And so when they start running out, it's nice to consolidate the colors. You could even mix the colors if you wanted to, but that's just a good, healthy tip for really effective spraying. Okay, so here I go again. I've got this stencil rested here on the top, and this is going to be my motion. I've got one shot at it. I'm going to spray and drag it all the way down the side of my notepad. All right, so again, I got to make sure that it's nice and shook up. My stencil is in place, and this is a quick motion, so are you ready? All right, there we go. There's one side. Now you can see how cute that looks on the side. I'm going to rotate it to the bottom. Again, kind of rest the stencil on the top and use your hand to help hold it in place. There we go. And to the last one. If you wanted to, it's probably not a bad idea to clean off all the excess that's sitting on top of your stencil, just so it doesn't drip all over your project here. Oops, other direction. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. All right, so I have got some spray here on the top, and so you may want to have to get rid of that top piece. But you can see how cute that looks all around the sides of it. So it's even cute when you separate it into just one pad at a time. Be cute to tie a little note, a little bow to it, write a note. Another thing, let me show you that I had kind of fun. All right, I've got to do just a teeny bit of cleanup here. I had some fun playing with this idea when I was trying to make my son Connor, who is struggling just a little bit with reading. So I wanted to make him kind of a reading center. That would be a way that we would remind him to keep track of the time that he spends studying and reading. So what I did here is I took just a regular piece of chipboard, and you can see that I just covered it with a piece of no limits paper. Then what I did was I took one of the notepads that I had actually already kind of experimented with spraying on the sides, and I went ahead and used my cinch machine to bind it right onto this piece of chipboard. And here it has a whole bunch of his reading words that he needs to go through every day. Then I took a stack of, and these are just regular time cards, and you can find these also in big stacks at the office supply store. And what I figured is that each day he could write how many minutes he reads. He has different books that he has to read, and then also does spelling and sorting and some of those other things. So I have his name here, and then on all these time cards he can be logging the time that he spends. And this is great for summer. I also did some stenciling on the sides of these time cards. After I sprayed it, then I filled it in with color, and it just kind of gave it a fun, different look. And but I also thought, you know, it would be really cool, and so I have another chipboard piece that's all ready to go for me to add some different time cards. I can punch holes into this note card, and then even maybe add some other scrap papers on the top, take my cinch coil and coil this together. Another great gift, or just something that helps you so that you're not losing every notepad that should be on the counter for you to keep track of. So this is just a fun way, like I said, to kind of spice up something that's normally very plain, and just add, you know, a little love to it. So grab those plain white notepads and make pretty stuff.